night, another session, another Wednesday of Monster of the Week. We're going to dive right into our sponsors first off and foremost. So we'd like to thank D&D Beyond. That is D, the letter N, D, Beyond.com. We may not use it tonight, but of course you can always check us out using it on Mondays and Thursdays for our regular D&D sessions. We also like to thank the Lucky Dice Cafe. If you're ever looking for live games in the Huntsville, Alabama area, be sure to go check them out. You can see our sort of head DM Cap there. I do believe they're still doing paid seats, so you have to book in advance. So you got to keep that in mind because tickets can go fast. Most likely, Cap's a great DM. Of course, we also do have a YouTube and a Patreon if you've missed any of our past episodes, or if you have, that's not the train of thought I wanted, or if you want to see things that we have done in the past, be sure to check out YouTube. Everything is now organized, lovely, and nice, and consistently well updated. Patreon, we know it's a tough time right now. Things are kind of slowly getting back into the jab of things. But be sure to check that out. You can get more information on games. You can get private sessions with Cap himself to learn world building and PC making and all of that fun stuff. All right. The last time we left off for Monster of the Week, something happened. Hubert, what happened?
I fucked up.
Sounds about right.
Yeah.
We are going to start with that. Dewart. You feel empty. It almost feels like you're light enough that you could be floating wherever you are. The area around you is dark and void of light, but you can still easily see anything around you. But here, everything is nothing. You don't feel hungry, you don't feel thirsty, you don't even feel sore from your long walk in the forest. You don't even feel really any sort of emotions over finding your friend, your coworker, the clown, dead in the forest. Which wasn't that long ago. Well, was it long ago? You're trying to remember it like it just happened, but it almost feels like a long lost memory. That's when the voices start. It's a lot of voices as you're trying to remember this memory, and it feels like your brain is gonna split in two. Some of the questions you're hearing: who is that? How did he get here? Is it the bracelet? Oh yes, you're right, he has the bracelet. And it's repeating. There's a lot of voices. Who is that? And it's like almost echoed throughout this empty void. And then there's one sentence that comes out: everyone quiet down. Can't you see he's hurting? And the voices stop. The figures are the next to appear. Slowly but surely, they circle you. All different shapes, all different sizes. But they all look like shadows that are almost caught in the wind, kind of thing. Like you're looking at them and it looks like the wind is blowing from the left, so you can see a sort of degrade of shadow past them. They're not close, but you can easily see them. 12 figures in total. Most of them stand on their own except for two small figures standing next to each other holding hands. Okay? There is one deep voice that speaks up that says, "You are Stuart." Your name echoes throughout all of these shadows, some sounding female now, some sounding an older male, older female, younger female, kids. And then he says another thing: "You will need us. Go back." And within a split second, you're back. You're looking around the trees, the forest, your friends. You remember everything, but it's sort of hazy. You look down at your wrist, you're still wearing the bracelet. You can't take the bracelet off now, the bracelet is stuck. But you're back. Jernia is...
Stuart?
waving her hands in front of your face.
Yeah,
Good?
I don't know.
What's wrong? What happened? We lost you there for a sec. In a forest like this, that's kind of scary.
Yeah, I don't know. That was weird.
You wanna go somewhere to talk about it?
Yeah, I want to lay down.
Let's not lay down here. Let's go. Let's go somewhere else. Let's go. Let's get you somewhere else.
Yeah, take my
They're
hand.
like, okay.
Yeah.
I'll take Stuart's hand and we'll walk. Which way? Are we like equidistant between like leaving, going back towards civilization, going towards the back to the mansion?
You've never made the full trek between the forest and the city, so you're not 100% sure, but you know you can make it back to the mansion.
Okay, we'll go back to the mansion then. Just remember to keep your head down. Keep your head down, Stuart. We'll get you back over there. Everyone else, come on, let's go.
I will say, James,
Mhm.
you peek into Stuart's brain, kind of.
Peep the
Maybe now you can get what happened. Everything that you can hear the echo of voices, you can hear the echo of questions, but it's staticky. You've always been able to look into Stuart Brain. He's never been able to block anything from you. This is staticky, this is hazy and almost clipped in a way.
Did we agree to bring Tallboy with us?
No, Tallboy I don't think is with you at this point.
I know we started saying we should take him with us, and then we just straight up didn't do that. So, you know.
Well, this wasn't something specifically going forward for Tallboy, if I remember correctly. This was something you were doing because Stuart was like, I need to find the clown that we're missing.
That's fair.
Work obligations.
Yeah.
Gotta tell
like
my boss.
not stealing a fire truck.
Yeah.
We're just gonna hear ear.
Flying through the trees. All right.
Yeah.
Good.
I was just gonna keep reminding Stuart to keep your head down. Keep your head up, buddy. There you go. Don't fall asleep. I don't want to have to carry. I don't want to have to carry you, but I will. And I'm gonna have to do it face down. It's gonna be weirdly awkward.
Yeah.
Would
it make you feel better if you talked to Ori?
Yeah. Sorry. Where's Ansel?
Other boyfriend. That's not my boyfriend. Who's my friend's boyfriend, but it's kind of my boyfriend. All right.
We'll see him back at the mansion. It's fine.
Yeah, Ansel's back at the mansion, so that'll be good. Ralph, after your forced interrogation of sorts with the mentality of, you're the Stray. Are you the Stray? Wait, hold on. Tallboy's the Stray. You left the bookshop. Whether it was maybe to look into it, could the person I'm running from be close? Is there a chance that maybe I can find something that can deter them a little bit? You're in town and you feel this almost sort of necrotic pull. It's not the same as Tallboy's. It's something else. You felt it in town before, but you don't remember from where specifically. You're sure more than likely, maybe I felt it around the mansion, maybe it's around the bookstore, because you felt energies there that you're like, this place is pretty fucking weird. You know it's moving, but you don't know exactly where to, but it's fairly deep in the forest.
I'm gonna grab whatever I can
from I've been trying to buy stuff to trick out the fire truck, but I'll just put all that down, or at least what I haven't bought yet, and head back. Odds are deep in the forest means probably close to the mansion. So I'll see what I can find to maybe distract an enemy. If that involves buying 6 air horns, so be it. But
I mean, that'd be distracting. I won't deny that.
just tie him to a belt and throw him.
Get them all going. Wind up. Toss. Oh god. Put it like God, one of those cowboy lasso with all air horns and just lasso somebody with the air horns going.
Loud lariat.
Why does it sound like 4 stewards are going off?
But I'll head to the bookstore so I can go through the door.
To get to the mansion?
Mm-hmm.
Because of the distance of walking, Ralph, you definitely make it there first. Nobody's at the mansion, which is... You're like, Tall Boy's there.
Okay.
Which, you know, that familiar, like, sort of necrotic energy. But, the rest of the group isn't, which is a little weird. Ansel's there as well. Ansel didn't go into the forest. It's probably about maybe 20 to 30 minutes later when the rest of the group shows up, and they show up from the, from beyond the gate of the forest, walking across the yard and into the mansion. Stuart's a little down.
I literally just lay him on a couch, just let him take a nap, or talk to Ansel or whatever.
I'm gonna rest a second.
Want us
Ruffles
to
head-
get you some
Ruffles head
popcorn and like put on X-Files or something?
Something, I don't know. Something fun.
Can we get the X-Files?
Girls Gone Wild Parts 2, 5, and 7.
Give me Ori.
So 7.
Get Ori.
7. God.
7. Yeah. You really want me to call him?
Yeah,
I will. Oh my god.
Yeah.
Okay.
not for what you think.
Alright, I'm calling Ori, I suppose.
It rings quite a few times, but Ori answers. It's like, hello?
Hey, we, you know, something might have happened, something, that we're not quite sure what, but, Stuart's feeling a little down. I guess the only thing that's gonna cure him is if, he talks to you.
Oh! Excited. Give him the phone.
I give Stuart my phone.
Oh,
Stuart, my bud, my
Yeah.
alive bud.
yeah, I'm alive. You gotta get over here. Something I need you to do.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Where you are directly?
Yeah, you can find me, I'm sure.
There a road at all there?
Nah, just don't look up. Look at the ground. You're good.
Okay.
That's
Okay.
so cryptic.
just look up.
Just keep walking till you don't.
That means a lot of things.
Cassie is gonna kind of crouch next to Stuart and just gently ask for the phone.
Okay. You take me.
Ori, do you know where the bookstore is in town?
I've been. Yeah.
Yeah. So I'm gonna have you meet me there in 15 minutes, and then I will
Sure.
bring you to where Stuart is.
Oakley dokley, I can do that.
You can
Mostly
find a
because
book in
it's going to be a lot
Wait.
easier to do it this way than the cryptic way that he just told you.
the cryptic. I'm just tired.
I mean, if there's a road to wherever he
There's
is, I
not.
can. Okay. Yeah, I'll park by the bookstore and I'll be there in a bit. And he clicks off.
I'm just
Ori will
realizing
be
that
there
I
in-
just gave the Crossroads Demon an ultimatum, and I really shouldn't have done that. Like, maybe don't tell the Crossroads Demon the time, and maybe you have asked him instead. Yeah, fuck. Shit.
What did you do?
I mean, you go out there in 10 minutes and he's already standing at the door, like, looking in, like, is this even open? Should I even be? Am I too early? It literally took me 30 seconds to get here.
She'll open the door and gesture him inside.
Okay. Now I know Stuart's not here.
No, just if you'd be so kind as to follow me.
That I can do.
And then she'll lock the store back up and then lead him to the door in the bookstore and walk him through.
At first he's like, place.
Now, come on, Ori, you didn't think I was going to lead you into a closet, did you?
Does it a couple times. Wouldn't be the first time a girl's led me to a closet.
You are not a stupid Crossroads Demon. Contrary to what Morgan might want us to believe.
Did I say it was because a girl locked me in on my own?
No, but I think given your exemplary skills, you would know for a fact that I, Cassie, would not be leading you to a closet. For that specific
Everybody's got that
implication.
slight inclination to want to. I mean, look at this outfit. I almost fell. I'm so sorry.
Please post the outfit.
Oh gosh,
I was
let's see
wondering
what
if
outfit
begging
is
you.
this? Let's see.
Googling Zoot Suit for you real quick.
Let's see.
The big obnoxious chain.
This one's really like, it's not as dramatic for Ori, I feel like. So it's nice. It's a nice like high-waisted brown pants. It's got a cool chain in it. It's
Yeah.
got like a shirt that's half open to spite Morgan, and it's got tigers on it. So it's
I love this shit.
Quentin, is it bad that I could see you wearing that?
I can
everything
absolutely see
Ori would
Quentin
wear
wearing
would
that.
actively be something I would wear. Oh, I like
Yes.
that. That's so tiny. What is it? Are those leaves?
Peacock feathers.
Even better. So he's going to Morgan's final recital in that.
Fantastic.
Amazing.
While this
So-
has been going on, James is going to be carefully examining the bracelet on Stuart, taking pictures of it on his phone, going through this, going through his library on his phone, see if he can find any kind of references to it.
This bracelet is just sort of a basic beaded bracelet. There are a lot of beads. From what you notice, the most consistent thing is there's quite a bit of black beads. Each bead, and then there are 12 colored beads. Each bead is a different color in nature. They are all split by black beads in between them, except for two that are beside each other. Looking online, you can't necessarily see anything like specifically towards it. You can see that maybe like like the closest kind of idea that you have towards is like a chakra bracelet almost, but you know that this isn't a chakra bracelet. So you can sense magic on it now that Stuart has it on and it is stuck on him. But you can sense it's not at like a full magic. It's definitely a soft, weaker magic, and it's encasing the bracelet and the part of the wrist that it is touching, but it's not moving over Stuart. It's not like spreading across his hand or up his arm or anything like that.
Okay. If I put my finger like on the bracelet, it doesn't try to run up my finger or anything.
Nope. It doesn't feel like if you had to put a feeling towards this magic, it doesn't feel aggressive or ooh, I like the shorts version.
Of
Sorry.
course you do.
Oh, it's even short sleeves. It didn't click in my brain until I actively like looked at his arms. Sorry.
You can wear that to the beach. Look dapper as
Beach
hell.
weddings.
Oh yeah.
Clips,
Each
tear off the arms and the legs when you're done.
You just take off the whole thing. It's a
they're
wetsuit
zipped,
underneath.
Like you've got like those cutoff pants that were zippered. That's what these are.
I like snaps
They've got like
better.
the zippers on them.
I like the active like snapping sound as somebody's like pulling off tearaway pants. I think that's cool.
That is
Those
fun.
old-
They rip off everything and there's just a wetsuit underneath. Still peacock feathers.
Who wants limit? Yeah, okay. Sorry. It doesn't feel aggressive or like it's doing anything to Stuart specifically.
Okay. The hairs on the back of my neck don't stand up looking at it. Right?
No.
No spidey sense going on. All right.
Spine chill is not going off. There we go. Okay. Ori is here. He looks for Stuart. He finds Stuart and hey bud, what's up? You
I need help.
look horrid. What's huh?
Okay. There was like a bunch of little shadow guys, and I want you to find them.
Shadow.
Yeah,
Ah.
I put on this nice bracelet. And then, how long was I out?
For you guys, Stuart was probably out for maybe a max of 5 minutes. Stuart, it felt longer for you.
It's been 3 or 4 years since I seen you, man.
Yeah, damn, dude.
Oh,
I'd like to punch Ralph.
you all aged very well.
Okay, next time somebody
Circus is
passes
still
out,
here, though.
next
Sorry.
time somebody passes out, we get a big white fake beard to put on.
Mm.
Everyone, including
Yes, everybody's wearing one. When they wake up.
everyone, including Jerenia and Cassie.
You guys killed a guy? Did you fight the guy without me?
Oh,
Huh?
the guy. I was like, huh?
Your guy.
Not yet. They've been taking their time. They've been waiting for you.
Oh no.
I punch Ralph
You
again.
could have told me a bit better. This is stupid.
I mean, you're just waking up.
Yeah. Anyway, so yeah, don't worry about it. There were like, oh, 11, 12, something like that, little shadow people I saw. They said I need them, so given how things work lately, I want you to find them. You can find a corpse in the woods. You can find these people. James, can you help take pictures from my brain and put it in his? Control C, yeah? And then Control V.
Control C, Control V.
Yeah. Do that, please.
I didn't know you know how to use computers. Well done.
Taking a class.
I'm proud of you, Stuart.
You said the things were static, or the voices were static. Can I get the images of what he saw?
It was like it's like TV static. You're getting the TV static. You're also seeing the TV static. Whatever Stuart saw is trying to block anybody else from seeing what it is. You can get glimpses here and there, but getting like a full picture is a little hard.
All right, I give Ori the still shots I'm able to take out of the.
Okay, find these shadows.
Yeah. I give you can.
I mean, I'll try.
Even you.
I mean, if all else fails, you can ask the trees.
You know, I'm not sure about those trees.
The trees aren't benevolent.
Don't on the trees right now.
Okay. Can I, Stuart? Can I see the bracelet? I
Yeah. Here you go.
like raises his hand. Gosh.
They're trying to shake it.
So yeah, he'll just
Hold up his arm.
he'll just hold his arm out.
All
Like
right.
this.
It's stuck. This is going to be a little harder to find them without having something to sort of track them with. Okay. He ends up taking your wrist and he places his hand over top of them. More than likely, I'm going to have to come back a couple times to see if I can maybe track the magic on it, but
That sounds wonderful.
Stuart, you know this means we have to make a deal, right?
Okay, so that's why Morgan's here too. Morgan, help.
I guess I'm like your lawyer or something. In this.
Maybe right now. I'll get you
I
some
mean, you
candy.
apparently don't have to pass a bar exam, so
There is no bar exam to be an expert in demon contracts.
Well, if we
Couple
have an
classes.
Am I
expert,
gonna have to
then,
separate you two?
well, I
but,
mean, if we have an expert, then why would we not use your expertise?
I
Then
trust you,
for-
Morgan.
That might be a mistake.
No, I do. Please help me.
Oh. Gently rubbing Stuart's head as he's talking.
Okay, well, just start to negotiate your deals, and I'll tell you whether or not you're going to be ripped off.
I'll be your best friend, Ori, forever. We'll go get sandwiches. And
We'll
like,
have dinner
my brother-
every Sunday.
yeah, you can. I'll introduce you to my brother Bruno, and he'll lift you up. He's real strong. Come on, dude.
You lift me up.
Stuart, I wish friendship was the
That's bullshit, Ori, and you know it.
I wish we could do something as easy as, well, friendship, but
I'll give you my money.
It's not much.
You can get yourself some nice clothing from the Goodwill.
We'll get you a nice kolache.
Oh goodness. You know what? I'm gonna wait till you're better in mind to make this deal. Because you seem a little out of it.
Yeah.
I'll start this, but we will have to sit down and talk a deal out, Stuart. Morgan, you can be there. That's not an issue.
Alright. That's good.
My boss won't be happy if I come back with another. I've got a best friend forever now. This is what I did for them.
Your boss will be friends with your boss. It's
I
fine.
wish she was that chill, but unfortunately, she really is not.
Alright, whatever.
Kind of the hell.
I'll be honest though, guys.
You want a
I'm
Karen of the hell world?
I really don't.
But I'll be honest, I just want to sleep a bit. You guys, yeah. Don't let me burn while I'm sleeping.
Got it, buddy.
Thank you.
It's kind of my thing.
He's waking me up in like 20 hours.
I just picture Stuart going 20.
He's like walking over to the couch. He's not even like on the couch. He just lays his head down on the seat and his like body is still on the floor.
Oh no, I like picked him up and like dropped him on the couch.
There's
Yeah,
like a big
just
comforter on the back, just drags it down.
out like a light.
All right. Y'all found the clown, I take it?
Yeah, we did, and something else.
Did you know the clown was turned into a tree?
I just knew the body, there was no heartbeat, that it was dead. I didn't really go looking for it. I just sort of tracked itself. I guess, what's the proper term? I followed the belonging to him. I didn't go to him. Unfortunately, a lot of tracking doesn't really involve us going into the matter. I knew there was a lot of things around it that were alive, but did
Well,
not
he was right
know
where
he
you
was
said he
turned
was,
to a
so.
tree.
Anyway, it was around there Stewart found his bracelet.
Alright, maybe... I'm sure if there are other things that have died there, they've just dropped them, but I've never seen an item like that before. It's tied to something, it's gonna take me a while to track it.
Just out of curiosity, it doesn't have anything to do with what's going on particularly, but you told Stewart you'd be in trouble if you came in with another I have a best friend forever. So who did you make that deal with?
Well, you see, you don't know them. It wasn't Morgan.
Insight
clearly.
check.
It wasn't actively Morgan. Morgan
Yeah.
remembers, like, even Morgan can back him up on that.
Just
What,
nodding shyly in the background.
No, really, I was just, the deal with that person was to find something that they needed, and they're like, you know what, sometimes I just get caught up by a cute face and I can't help it, okay? That's, okay, I'm gonna go start tracking this now.
Good luck, Ari.
Is he blushing when he says that?
Yeah, a
Can
little.
you tell when a demon blushes?
He's got a human form. So,
Okay.
he's not, actually, you've never actually seen his human form. Actually, James, you have. But even then, he goes from like this kind of pale-looking white guy to like almost an onyx blue sort of skin tone, and he's got horns and tails. So
Tails plural.
tails plural, two, just two.
By the way, before you go, Ari, I love your outfits.
Convince
re-
Morgan that they're perfect.
I-
Please.
I appreciate a unique sense of style.
It's like brushing off his. He's like pointedly staring at Morgan, like she likes it.
It stands out.
You know what? That's what I like.
Sure does.
You know what? Go ahead.
Certainly makes it hard to lose him in a crowd.
I mean, if I knew it was a stealth mission, I would have wore something stealthy.
You own something stealthy?
Does black count as stealthy?
It
Black
counts
clothing?
as
If it's
stealthy
just
if
black?
you're yeah, exactly.
I'm gonna go. I don't like this pointed questions. Anybody else need anything from Ori before he leaves?
No, I'm good. I'm gonna, as Ori's leaving, I'm gonna kneel down and like just like investigate the mystery that is Stuart right now.
Stuart conked out.
I'm gonna be using my forensic divination as I do it.
All right. That's
which
a roll, ladies and gentlemen.
Which one is it? Sharp or is it weird?
I believe yours lets you use weird because of what it is. Am I not? Is that correct assumption?
I'm not sure. No, I think that's someone else's. I think that's James's.
When you successfully investigate a mystery, you may ask what type of magic was done here as a free question. Okay, sorry. Investigate a mystery then. That's what we're doing. All right.
Mhm.
Apologies. That is plus sharp.
Okay. Do I get a plus because he's asleep?
No. You
Hey,
tried,
you
and
never
that's
know,
what
you might have
counts.
to ask.
I don't mind it, but no.
Hey, a 9.
A 9, perfect. So, yes, that is a success on a 7 to 9.
Mhm.
So, on a 7 to 9, though, you can only hold one. So, besides the question of what magic was done here, the magic that was done here is definitely necrotic in nature.
Mhm.
It's almost how it feels is as if it's supposed to be tied with something else. And unfortunately, Stuart has kind of gotten caught in the middle of being the one to try and reconnect the two.
Gotcha.
Now, go ahead.
I was gonna say I'm holding one, so.
Yep.
Hmm.
Things you can ask: what happened here? What sort of creature is it? What can it do? What can hurt it? Where did it go? What was it going to do? What is being concealed here? I'm gonna say what is being concealed here was the type of like along the lines of with the magic question. So
Let's go with what was it going to do?
what was it going to do? Let's see. When it comes down to when Stuart first put on the bracelet, what it was initially going to do was try and tie to Stuart itself, like himself.
Mm-hmm.
So when Stuart put it on, the bracelet thought, in a sense, that Stuart was what it was meant to be tied to.
Do I get the sense that it still thinks that?
A little bit, because you can't really tell why, though.
Okay.
It's like, okay, I'm tied to Stuart. This is where I am. This is where I'm going to stay, but you don't know why it wants to stay, kind of thing. Like, it has this sort of sense of self?
A sentient bracelet? The air around Stuart's like a couple degrees cooler as I'm doing this, and I'm just like, why does it want to be with Stuart? Why is Stuart so special? I'm like muttering that out loud as I'm like doing this.
Rude, but I mean,
Stuart's a great guy. It's just bracelet seems to want to be with Stuart. The magic wants to be with Stuart.
Do you think perhaps it's because he was the only one dumb enough to put it on?
He's not even here. He's not even able to defend himself right now. But yes.
Do you just put random jewelry you find in a forest on?
depends on the forest.
Specifically this one?
Oh, hell no.
James is like, I don't, but I used to play D&D, so.
You know what? Fair enough. But, points for trying. I don't think this is necessarily malevolent in nature.
Well, hang on. There's a lot of necrotic energy at work here.
Yes.
It is gross. So let's bear with me here.
Oh boy, here we go.
What if this thing wanted to attach to any of us who spent enough time with some other source of horrible necrotic energy, i.e., Tallboy?
Or you?
I mean, maybe. I figure we should maybe see if Tallboy can convince this bracelet to get off of our friend here first, considering he's a much more necrotic whatever he is.
Sure.
What has Tallboy's reaction to this been so far?
He's watched it a little bit, but for the most part, he hasn't really openly paid any interest in it. Like, he hasn't actively tried to go over to Stuart and be like, I'm gonna eat this.
I'm going
Kinda
to eat
thing.
you now.
I mean, he wasn't like that with the other stuff we had. He just kind of gave it to him. You know.
Level him up again.
Pac-Man, this bitch.
Do you want Tallboy to? Are you like beckoning him like, here, Tallboy, look at that?
I will, yeah. I ain't touching him, but yeah.
You weren't here. You weren't here. Well, you weren't here when he ate the last one.
He wasn't here when
Sorry.
he ate a lot of stuff. Sorry, he ate a stone last time.
Oh, I don't know if I want to watch him eat anything.
I can also, after a ritual, can speak Tallboy.
Okay, first thing.
Yes.
Why?
I got to be able to talk to him. It's the open communication.
No. Why can
what?
you do it?
I'm a practiced magician.
You know what? I'm just gonna let that one go. If anybody needs me, I'll be in the kitchen.
Come here, Tallboy. Let's see if we can. Wait a minute. I'm gonna walk over to him. What does that mean? Why me in particular? What does that mean?
Are you ice magic princess, or are you a speaker of tongues? What?
I can, if you show me a bit of magic, I can do my best to emulate it. I just have a specialty because that's comes down the family line. If you have to know, but there's all sorts of utility sorts of magic out there.
Interesting. Like,
James taught me how to scry. Well, he sent me the PDF for it, but I haven't looked at it yet. But still,
I mean, that's okay.
if you have the magical aptitude for something and you put in enough time, you can just come up with it. That's how magic works. That's probably how your magic works.
Yeah, maybe.
So, you want to stop the passive aggression there?
It's not passive.
And it's kind of his trademark.
Sassy ass right.
Sassy ass zombie. Then you want to talk about what your issue is?
At this point, it's just curiosity. I didn't
Aggressive.
expect you to have more than ice cubes up your sleeve. Nobody tells me nothing.
They didn't know that either.
To be fair, that's not fair. Cassie tells you a lot.
True. But it's not something he's going to say to Jernia.
Well, it's not exactly something that I outwardly show. I like people to think I'm a one-trick pony until I prove them otherwise.
That's actually pretty smart. Get them to underestimate you, then overwhelm them. Okay.
We good?
Yeah.
Slap his shoulder. Okay.
All right.
I'll walk back.
Thank you.
Completely lost my train of thought. Someone else gets Tall Boy.
Tall Boy's just been standing there awkwardly watching you two fight.
Flirt? Whatever it was.
Flart?
Flart. Flight.
Like that word.
Goodness. All right.
Come here, Tall Boy. We'll take a look at the bracelet. See how you feel about it.
Eat around the hand.
Tall Boy moves over to Stuart, who is still sleeping. Do you make Tall Boy fish for his arm with the bracelet on
I
it,
just
or
kind of like this.
Stuart's his arm is just Is Stuart a snorer?
Oh, yeah.
Damn, Bruno, you big.
I'm not gonna.
Good. I love him. Okay. Tall Boy, he takes interest in the bracelet. He looks over the bracelet, watches it, takes a look through it, and all that kind of stuff. He does reach out for it. His hand in that kind of weird material that Tall Boy is.
Yeah.
His hand sort of instead of fingers, it sort of meld together as he brings his hand up over the bracelet, and it almost looks like it sort of liquids over top of said bracelet.
Mhm.
There's a quick couple seconds. Stuart, you don't feel anything. It just feels like something wet and goopy has now touched your skin. It doesn't hurt. And then Tall Boy moves his hand away, and the bracelet's still there.
I just go like this.
Shrugs a couple times.
Okay. We'll keep looking. We're gonna have to use hand signs for you because I can't always guarantee that I'm gonna be able to translate Tall Boy.
Just get him a whiteboard.
That's what we forgot at the Walmart. Damn it. Making up for next time. On the whiteboard we don't have.
Just
You do have this sort of court crime board in the library. You guys have
I'm not touching.
from
I'm
the
not
last
touching that at
mystery?
all. It's like Vinny and Cassie's cursed images.
Yep. The one memory you have of Vinny. The weird
Boy.
crime board.
Before he was unfortunately gunned down by police.
Oh no.
Nope.
Sorry, Jordy, I love you.
Alright. Tall Boy didn't want the bracelet.
Okay.
Needed salt.
He's just ick. Garbage.
Did a
Bracelet
dog
don't
lick
taste
my
good.
wrist?
I put his arm back. I put his arm like this.
Stuart, are you half awake now?
Did a dog lick me?
No, it was Jarnia.
What?
That's weird. Don't do that. That's rude.
I swear to God, James, I will have a magic fight with you right now.
I don't do magic. I don't know what you're doing.
Yeah, sure you don't. Whatever. Anyway, well, I look around at everybody. Well, looks like Tallboy didn't want that, so I guess it's stuck with Stuart for now. Any other ideas?
Hope it's not draining his vitality or anything.
Doesn't seem to be.
I don't know. He's really tired.
Well, if he's still tired, then we'll be concerned when he wakes. Well, if he's still tired when he wakes up, we'll be concerned.
I mean, to be
So
fair,
he-
most normal people tend to be exhausted after an encounter with the supernatural like that, so if he's still tired when he wakes up, then we have cause to worry.
Flip
Also,
the TV
Janya.
over to the.
Janya, you may need to go take a nap. You're feeling awful aggressive, which is a lot more than your usual placid nature, and it's putting me a little on edge.
He came at me, and I still.
You just tried to pick a fight with James.
And so did he. I don't know. Maybe I'm just stressed.
Go take a nap. Or go make yourself a cup of tea.
I'll run to the Teal Leaf. Storm off to the Teal Leaf.
To
And
the tea and leaf.
Journey is.
James,
Okay. Yep. No.
stop
Yeah?
antagonizing her.
Oh, come on.
Don't play dumb with me.
Huh? I go over and change the TV to like APT to see if I can find like a Joy of Painting or something to play while Stuart's sleeping.
That's super nice.
That or Mr. Rogers, anybody with that nice calming voice.
Mm.
You just hear a door slam in the distance as it starts.
That was uncalled for.
I mean, y'all are antagonizing her. It's enough to make anybody lose their cool.
I see what you did there.
It wasn't meant as a pun, but yes, I guess. But still, if we're supposed to be figuring this out together, if we're supposed to be preventing the annihilation of ourselves, burning in this building, this very building we are standing in, then we need to work together as a team and not be at each other's throats.
That's fair.
Which means if anybody else has any sort of special abilities, now is the time to bring them forward. And she's looking directly at James.
I can wiggle my ears.
That sounds like a very useful skill, and I hope we get a chance to use it. But I'm not kidding here, guys. Like, this is... If this has Morgan on edge, the demon whose father will rescue him from the pits of hell, should something go wrong, maybe we all need to take this a little bit more seriously. And stop antagonizing the Ice Queen.
She's a
Yeah,
princess.
come on, guys. Fucking let it go.
Morgan
Oh
dies.
my god. Where is Morgan standing?
Probably in the corner eating Swiss rolls. Speaking of which,
Yeah, where are they?
Here it goes!
this is one.
I'll have it that Cassie was standing next to Morgan watching this entire thing go out. She just puts her hand up for a high five when he says, yeah guys, come on, let it go.
I'm very proud of you.
And then she's gonna go check on Ansel to see if he's awake. If he's asleep, she's not waking him up.
gonna say you guys rested before going out in the forest, because I know the last time you guys went for a shopping trip with Tallboy, got him a nice big sun hat, demanding of the crop top. And then that big jacket and some clothing just in general. By the time you guys, because Ansel went with you, which was like late evening, Ori went. I'm gonna say you guys rested before going out into the forest to get the clown, because I want to know if actually you guys would have gone out into the forest with the mention of there could be something that kills you in there at night. As a group consensus, would you guys have gone out at night in that forest?
I don't know. I barely want to go there today.
No, I don't think so.
I was gonna say, I'm like, I think I know for sure one no, and I feel like it would be James. But
On the other hand, the Guardians are only dangerous if you look at them, and you can't really look at them at night.
Well-
Unless you look at him accidentally.
Yeah, and then
It's like the Avatar stink thingy.
But yeah, he probably won't like him.
oh yeah, I'm gonna say that you guys at night. This is the next day. Ansel would still be asleep at this point.
then she will wait and hold her questioning for when he is awake.
Okay.
She's gonna let her man sleep. In that case, she is going to head to the library to see if she can't find out any information about a group of 12. Since Stuart
Okay.
had mentioned that there was 12 figures.
I also wanted to mention, just passively, because I actually stormed off, but I actually did go and get tea. So
The tea and leaf.
no. I was to say I never returned back to the mansion.
Okay.
If we're starting another day, and then if that's the
Oh
case,
no, we're
then,
not. Sorry, we're not starting
Okay.
another day. We are still in the same day.
then yeah, I'm just haven't gone back.
Actually, really quick, Jernia, at the
Yes.
tea and leaf.
Yes.
Did you ever open up the tea and leaf at all that day?
Ooh. Time of day is it right now?
Probably about noon,
About
give or
noon.
take. You guys went out in the morning, noon, early afternoon, so it's like between 12 and 2, I'm gonna say.
I feel like now I would open it for a little bit,
Okay.
just so I can clear my head from that bullshit. Just do some like retail therapy, just the worst kind of retail therapy.
Oh yeah, because dealing with customers is gonna make you feel so much better.
Yeah.
It's at least I know what I'm dealing with here.
True. Not wrong. All right. You've set all the dolls out one by one. You remember to set Arlo and Binks together like you've been told to in the past, and everyone is out in their normal places. Do you keep Nebula with you? All right.
Nebula is always by the cash register or with me.
Okay. You do have like a couple customers here and there. One, like an older woman looking for a cookbook. She finds some sort of like dinner cookbook, so that's fine. Not very many other people. Not very many other people. Otherwise, you've noticed a couple times that dolls have been shifted. But you kind of realize maybe sometimes the dolls move from what you can tell. Other times you realize like customers could easily have moved them to kind of get to one of the books, and because they're not shifted very far, right?
Well,
Everyone
Quincy
is-
dolls, so you know it's still a coin flip.
Yep, it's still a coin flip. But yeah. All right.
Okay, and then I'll
Yeah,
just
I'll
shift them
accept
back whenever. I'll just
Yep.
shift them back whenever I notice it. Just it's like
All right.
90% of the job is shifting dolls,
Yep.
shifting dolls, and taking money.
Mm-hmm. Selling a book that even on the back says like $50 for 10.
Mhm.
Quincy's not a very bright man. He just says, whatever you're feeling. All right. Perfect. Back at the house, Cassie, the library, and the mentality of 12. There is never a mention of 12 in anything. Wait, hold on. I need to check one thing. I mean, okay, there's mention of like even looking things up. The only time something 12 comes up is like Jesus Christ and his 12 disciples.
Yeah, your religious stuff.
Yep.
I'm trying to figure out if Cassie would have figured out what I just thought of. She's gonna text Jarnia. Actually. And, ask her how many dolls are at the shop.
Keeper, how many dolls are at the shop?
We have a
You
document
guys
of them.
have the doc and the information.
Huh?
Pinned. It's
You
pinned
tell
in the
me.
channel.
I forgot you actually pinned it.
I forgot Quentin
You
actually
forgot
got
I
it
actually
done.
did my job for once.
I forgot Quentin got it done.
Fuckers.
Okay, to be fair,
Hell yeah.
you were telling us for months you were gonna get us that information.
Okay, I don't feel like it was months. I feel like maybe it was weeks, but I did it, so
So it's done.
meh.
It's fine.
I'll text back 12, why? This is like 20 minutes later after like actually counting them.
Yeah. She'll quickly text back, because I haven't found anything for a mention of 12 besides the obvious religious ones with the Roman Catholics and Jesus' 12 disciples, but that's technically 13.
14 if you count Paul.
Past religion, okay? I'm just thinking outside
What do
the
you mean
mentality
14
of
if
it.
you count Paul?
When Judas died, they replaced him, and then
Oh,
later
yeah.
Paul counts as one.
Yeah, but that's still 13.
Yeah, but if you have the mentality
Whether-
of counting everyone, whether they've lived or
Well,
died.
Yeah, only 12 at any one time, I suppose.
Yeah.
Or
But it's
13.
still 13 because you gotta count
Active
Jesus.
positions.
Active positions.
Only
And-
active members allowed?
Well, now.
Yeah.
She'll text back just, I've got a feeling.
Okay.
If I remember correctly, Stuart's mentioned something about them or him needing them.
Do you send these messages like in clips and phrases? You like I have a feeling message.
No, she sends
send
it all in one go.
one big paragraph. Okay.
She's not
I love the
Logan.
ellipses.
It's like I have because if you like started texting, I have a feeling she would have immediately called you. Just had you on speaker while she like does her job.
Yeah, no, she sent that all in one go. But
Okay.
if you called her, then she'd just answer, and then they'd have a conversation instead. So just tell me, are you
$12?
texting her or are you calling her?
I'll call her.
Yeah. So anyway, that's if there's 12 dolls and there's 12 beads on that. Wait, hang on. And then she's going to just take her phone, go down and sit next to Stuart. What's that one that you always carry around with you?
Hold on a sec. I'll be right with you. Nebula?
Yeah, what color is she?
Blue. Like various blues and purples.
Is there a bead that matches that color on the bracelet?
There's a purple bead, yeah.
Okay. She'll go to the two that are together. Is there a pair of dolls that you would normally find together?
Jernia hangs up and just sends a bunch of pictures to Cassie.
Do the colors of these dolls match the colors on the beads on the bracelet?
There's actually one, sorry, before I forget, there is one you can't take a picture of because you don't know where that one is. That one's not part of the placing.
Right.
But going through them, Maddie, you see a picture of one that's pinks, blues, and yellows. You can find a bead that matches that. Dark purples, like Nebula. Find one like that. You find a cream-colored one that has sort of flecks of sparkles in it. Yes. A sort of brownish, greenish blue one. Yes. The two that are together are almost the same type of bead as they sit together. There's a black and white one, red, orange, and yellow is almost like a fire-ish type bead. The one that's sort of a mixture of white and pink, and then one that's mostly browns and colors. The one that you don't see a picture for, that is an extra bead on the bracelet, is one that is sort of gold with reds here and there.
So she sends me a picture of 11 dolls.
Yes.
Okay. Are you missing a doll?
There's the one that's always with Quincy.
You wouldn't happen to know what color that one is, would you?
The brief kind of times you've seen them, normally it's either with Quincy or it's out of sight. You've probably only seen it like a couple handful of times.
Not off
You
the
do
top of
know
my
that it's
head.
missing an arm, and it's burned up, but other than that,
Not off the top of my head. I remember it being kind of ratty looking, actually. Like burned, missing an arm.
I think I may have just found our quote-unquote Council of 12.
Is that something you should be saying out loud? Hang on!
I don't know, do you got a better name for it?
Why, it's just like...
Creepy dolls with the creepy bracelet sounds a little bit less serious than the Council of 12.
Yeah, but you start mentioning councils and then something comes after you.
Maybe you should just go deal with your customer in the store and then we can continue this conversation after.
Yeah, just come find me when you're ready. Start going back to customer service mode. Just like, how can I help you?
Does Cassie have a way to contact Quincy?
No.
Okay. The only thing Cassie's gonna leave then for a text for Jarnia is you need to contact Quincy.
Scene.
who you haven't heard from in weeks.
Yeah. She just, and it wasn't anything to be intended to be replied to. It's just, you need to contact Quincy because I have no way to.
Yeah, just scene.
James. How much do you know about those dolls in the bookstore?
They're creepy. That's about it.
Oh, well,
I've been careful not to use my sight in there because something about them weirds me out.
Well, you may not have a choice. Which is at that point, she's going to show the photos of the dolls and show them matching up to the beads on the bracelet.
It's just like holding onto like Stuart's arm while he's sleeping to show like, look.
Look at she's basically sitting with her back to the couch, has his arm, like his hand on her shoulder, and is just rotating the bracelet as she's showing the photos. Like, she's doing this literally so that he won't be disturbed while she's doing it.
What she doesn't know is she's performing a rosary.
No, that actually involves praying. Which is not something she really does.
We don't know where Quincy's at currently, do we?
No, we don't.
I do feel more than likely, Journia, you've mentioned before, like, Quincy's left me in charge. I haven't heard from him in weeks.
Somehow still getting paid, but you know what?
You get a paycheck like bi-weekly on the nose when you're supposed to get it. You're just like, I'm still getting paid. This whatever. I've only opened the store twice this week, and I'm still making full pay. You know.
I don't have to submit time cards or nothing.
It's 40 hours, 40 hours. It's great. It's gonna look good on my taxes.
No, we have no idea where Quincy is. And the chances are the missing doll, since we're short one, matches this last feed.
But he has blank dolls, and he made another one for somebody else.
But these are the ones
Not
he
too
keeps
far back.
specifically at the store.
Mm-hmm.
So now the question becomes, what has he made them for? And what is
Yeah,
he
those are
trying
the-
to contain?
If they're the shadowy people that were talking to Stuart, I wonder if we'll piss Ori off if we find him first.
Well, it would save Stuart from having to sell his soul.
Everyone looks at Morgan.
And I think Ori might be a little bit more relieved about not having to take Stuart's soul over something like this. But I don't think or presume to speak for a Crossroads demon. I did that once. Wasn't a Crossroads demon, but when you start doing things for demons without asking them, they tend to get kind of irritated.
Alright, I'll head to the
She's
bookstore
just
and see what I
not
can
looking
find
at
out.
Morgan because, oh god.
Alright, I'll head to the bookstore and see what I can find out.
And again, try not to piss her off. Yeah?
I'll try not to, but no problem.
Hey, look, I'm not
She's in a
asking for
mood.
the impossible. I'm just asking you to try.
Then we cut to, 10 minutes later and one of the dolls is on fire. The book
Scott,
Any
like-
fools don't do that.
I've got like the equivalent of a force choke, but it's like ice on James. The dolls are all on fire. And it's just chaos.
Quincy comes back with a pizza.
left you in charge for 4 weeks. And this happened. Alright, James heads back into the bookstore.
All right. James heads back to the bookstore.
You just see me taking care of customers. There's a doll right there by the register. The other ones are as well put together as they could be.
Normal spots. James, you've seen their spots before just because you actively, avidly know where not to look. Because you don't want to look at them. You're like, I know one's by the window, not going to look at the window. I know one likes a chair, I'm not going to look at the chair. Are you actively looking?
I'm waiting till there are no customers in the store.
Okay.
Gonna be a
There's
few-
like
Couple hours.
one customer in there. She's taking a sweet time. Don't know what she's looking for. Grabs a book. No, I'm kidding. She finds a book. Goes up to the counter, pays for it.
Have a good day.
Kind of looks at Johnny like, I don't know how this store does it, but I find what I'm looking for every time, and it's real nice. Goodbye, Jania. And she pays for it. She goes,
We like having what's available for the customer. You have a good day.
goodbye. She like looks at James for a quick second, like knows that he's also lives here, and is just off she goes.
weirdest kid
And
in
now
town.
it's
I
just
just look at her in my
Jernia.
slow blink.
Stop that.
My eyes are creepy.
Close the door. Hi, James. Can I help you? My voice.
Which of these
like
dolls
lowers.
would you say is the nicest?
I mean, I'm biased towards, and I pick them up, Nebula. I just think they're neat.
That.
James closes his eyes and then opens it and gives the doll a good hard look.
All right. You are looking at Nebula. She is a well put together doll. Her colors are dark purples, blues, blacks. There's small gold flecks across the clothing as well. She has 3 eyes that are set into her face, so one in each normal spot, and then one that sits on her forehead. Their faces are blank. They've always been blank. They've never had any features that show nose, mouth, or anything like that. And as you're staring at Nebula, you notice the figure that is standing behind Jernia. She's hovering more along the side that the doll is on, that the doll is being held up in. She's like an adult woman's height, I want to say. Like, Jernia, how tall is Jernia again? I apologize.
Jernia is like 5'5".
5'5". This woman looks like she would be slightly taller than Jernia. She's probably about maybe 5'6", 5'7". Not very tall, but she is tall. The way the kind of figure looks, it looks as if she's wearing a long dress, but it is a shadowed figure. There's no defining features. You can tell it's more of a female build, just based on how she is standing, the fact that she looks like she's wearing a dress. That would be your assumption. She's not moving. She's not doing anything. She is just staying near the doll, staying near Jernia.
I'm gonna like, not even realizing what's going on. I'm gonna like move the doll. Like, so.
The
is there
shadow
anything?
weaves as Jernia. Sorry, the J's. As Jernia is moving the doll, the shadow sort of like moves a little bit, but doesn't look like it takes a step or anything like that.
It just sort of drifts.
Yep.
Anything?
I'm going to try to communicate with it.
Okay. Do you have something specifically that lets you communicate with it, or are you trying to like just use your telepathy?
I'm just trying to use my telepathy.
Okay.
Failing that, I'll, speak or something.
Yeah.
Is this something I should have locked the door for?
No, it's fine.
Are you sure?
Yeah, I'm sorry.
Okay.
I want to be able to get that door open quick if I have to.
To run, I need to run, Don't lock it. Trying to communicate with it, it almost feels like you're trying to force your way into whatever this thing is mind. It's not working out really. You're getting that static feed that you remember from Stuart's memory.
Can I feel for sure that there's a presence there? Okay.
There is a presence. You can tell this feels old. I don't want to say ancient because it doesn't feel like it comes from like a very past distant thing. It just feels old.
Old, but in a scale that normal people would think about,
Yeah.
like a 100-year-old house, or
Yep.
So what you got?
Well, there's a shadowy form floating behind you
Not the first time.
that seems to move in the way you move the doll.
Kind of like.
If I just kind of give a quick glance around the room, do I see shadows attached to the other dolls? Okay, all the dolls seem to have that. I think they're the shadowy people Stuart was talking to.
Kind of look back.
You don't see anything.
Okay, well, I mean, I trust your sight. I placed Nebula down.
The doll the shadow follows the doll. You place it down by the
Other register.
cash register. You see the doll. The doll does not move. Sorry, the shadow moves. you can see the shadow sort of reach out and touch the doll. The doll doesn't move or anything like that. It's like a slight movement. It almost looks like it's fixing the doll's skirt. And then it almost seems to shift from view. Like it kind of just smokes out.
Well, you're still alive.
Does anything weird happen if people touch the dolls?
Are you asking me or are you asking the keeper?
I'm asking Jarnia. James is asking Jarnia.
I mean, not that I know of. I just sometimes they fall and I just put them back.
You've noticed before that when you've always been told to put Arlo and Binks together. Those are the dolls that match, but the colors are inverted.
Yeah.
They're the same size. They're fairly small. They each share an eye. Sorry. Yeah, both have one eye each.
It's just it's like one's on the left and one's on the right.
Yeah. Actually, no. They're both set like one big eye that would be directly in the middle of where.
Oh, so it's like one
two eyes
half
are.
eye, one half eye.
Nope, both of them have one eye specifically. Like when you think of like
both
two
cyclopses.
people, it's like one and one. Yeah, they look like cyclops.
Gotcha.
That's the word I'm looking for.
Cool.
You've noticed sometimes when somebody needs a book behind one of them, they'll take that one doll, move it, they'll take the book, and they won't put the dolls back together. You've noticed that the dolls always end up coming back together.
Mm-hmm.
If someone moves one of the ones that likes the leather chair, you notice it moves back to that leather chair. If you don't place the one that likes the window, like in the window, you've noticed it always finds its way towards the window.
I'll shoot a text at Quincy and say, she leave a weird bracelet in the forest that has colors that coincide with the dolls.
Asking for a friend.
Asking for a friend.
No reason, just curious.
Get a text back. Not today.
It's been a couple months.
A couple months. You still like Quincy doesn't. You guys don't share a phone where it says like, "Hey, this person has seen your text." No. The text always goes through, but you're never sure if he actually sees it because you've never gotten a response.
I'll show James like my text history. I was like, he hasn't contacted me in forever, except for that one time where he's like, "I'm on my way," and that was like months ago. Starting to worry, but I mean, he has to still be around and still getting paid. So, like,
Well,
that
he
money
could
has
have
to come
set that up.
from
He could
somewhere.
have set that up automatically with his bank or something.
Really?
So you might just keep. He might be. You might just keep getting paid until that account runs out of money.
If it runs out of money. The secret minigame here is how the hours I keep the store open is how much Journey gets paid, how much total Journey has left. Fucking accountant minigame.
I assume, in addition to the shadow, that I do see some sort of magical effect around the dolls.
Yep. You've always been able to sense this magic. It also kind of feels sort of necrotic in nature.
Necrotic in that there's like a sense of decay around it, or just that it's a spirit being bound to this thing. Okay.
It's just the catch-all name for like undead.
Yeah. I probably get the same vibe from Ralph.
Not the same. Ralph doesn't feel like these things do in the way of a spirit does. It's along the same line, but not exactly the same thing.
Okay.
Almost
Maybe Ralph
like
doesn't have a soul or something. Okay.
Well, you're gonna tell me that all of them have the little weird shadow figure?
Yep. Well,
I
all the
mean-
ones in this room that I could glance at. Yeah.
Makes sense. Did he have Does he have blanks in the back?
Quincy, yes.
Yeah.
You guys walk past a like sort of glass, old kind of glass book, not bookcase. They're it's like a
Like
you know the dish cabinets where like they have those
It's
glass
the
doors and they
standee.
have like regular shelf. What
Yes.
it's like that, but there are blanks in the glass parts.
Hold on, I actually have something like that, and you're gonna have to excuse the crap on my table,
I think I actually found a picture.
but like that.
In a sense, it's just here's here's a picture. Ta-da!
The perks of being in the dining room.
Mhm.
Yeah, that's exactly what that is.
Yeah, okay. Then on my way back to the mansion, I'll look at the blanks to see if there's anything on them.
Nothing of sorts.
Okay.
Nothing on the blanks.
They are simply a tool for whatever ritual he's doing.
At some point, as I'm closing, I'll straight up call Quincy. I know he doesn't like it, but I'll straight up call him and see if he answers. Or if
You
it
get
goes,
no answer.
does it ring or does it go to voicemail?
It rings. I want to say 4 times before going to voicemail.
It does battery, whatever phone he's using. Probably has one of those Nokias that lasts for like 36 hours before needing a charge.
James will go head back to the mansion and hit their library and start looking for stuff on soul transferences, on containing souls and inanimate objects, dolls specifically. Keeping an eye out for anything about the beads, but I'm
Jeremy
not
will
sure
do
how they're
something-
related yet.
Jeremy will do something similar, but in the tea and leaf after she's closed up.
Okay. All right. So I'm gonna have you guys make 2 separate rolls.
Okay.
Now I'll start with Jernia. Based on because of how the bookshop works, I'm gonna have you roll an act under pressure roll. It's plus cool.
Okay.
Okay. No going forward, nothing like that. Just a straight cool roll for me.
Cool.
That's an 11. That's beautiful. So normally for an
Those
act
are
under
good
pressure
numbers.
roll on a 10 plus, you do what you set out to do.
Mhm.
So you do find a book. It talks about souls and how souls can be tied to either like inanimate.
Eminent.
Mana.
Inanimate? No.
Inanimate.
Inanimate. There we go. I was gonna find it at some point. It was just gonna
I believe in you,
all of
just-
you to say
Just helping you out.
thank you, because I don't know my words sometimes on occasion. How they can be tied to these objects or and things like that. In this case, it doesn't feel like they've just chosen these objects. It's as if it has been chosen for them. You find the book continues on about things that are maybe like forced to stay or that want to stay. There's never been anything like in the bookstore in a sense of like
Seance.
sorry?
A seance.
Seance. No, Quincy would never allow it. He's never told you much about the dolls, but he has told you that like it's basically along the lines of treat them right and nothing bad will ever really happen. So finding the book and having that sense, you realize like these things maybe they want to be here, sort of.
As I'm like reading it and like looking over at the dolls, as someone kind of like going over and looking at them, like, if you guys didn't want to be here, you wouldn't be here, huh? You don't have to be here if you don't want to, I suppose. But I mean, I'm happy for the company. Sometimes it's just me and you guys, just reading the book.
Out loud, reading the book, going on. You don't get very much. You don't get a response at all.
I figure.
You've never really gotten a response before, so you're not sure if it'd be like, I know about them now, so would it be different? But it's not different. All right, now for James. I'm going to have you go with investigate a mystery, so plus sharp. And I know you have it gives you something whenever you use the occult library, correct?
Mm-hmm. Yes, the +1 going forward.
All right. So yeah, if you want to go ahead and do that.
Oh, well, the +1 going forward is usually when I do my use magic.
Is it?
Well, the occult library that I get as
Pairing your charms screamers take plus
you know,
one.
in my
Oh, when
ability
using
list.
magic. Okay, I see that now.
What you want to give me for the mansions library?
For the mansions library, I will say take +1 forward, because it's the mansions library, and you know Quincy's writing now, so you're sure if Quincy has written anything about it, you can kind of find it in that sense.
All right, so +1, and you said sharp, right?
Yes, a plus sharp roll.
All right.
I'm not going to worry about the question. Oh,
well, I get some XP.
that's an XP. Is the mansion's library, so you are still going to end up finding the book. It's just going to take you a while to go through it.
Okay.
Because you know you're looking for Quincy's writing, but you start from like the back, move forward. Even with all the books that you have scanned and that you have created PDFs and have on like in your own occult library now. Cheers. It still takes you a couple hours to find. Basically, Journey, at this point, if you want to come back to the mansion, you're able to do that.
Then-
Close up, anything like that.
I would have closed up and gone back. Just like she just like does some deep breathing and she comes back. She's like, just ignores Rolf and goes upstairs.
All right. So, James, it takes you a while to find it. It takes definitely a couple hours for you to find the book that kind of has more of the specifics on it. You can find it in a book that has Quincy's writing, but doesn't have his name as part of the entry names. And it talks about helping those that are not yet finished, in a way. It talks about souls. Sorry. It talks about souls that would come to him instead of going out and like finding souls that want to stay. Whenever they come to him and they want help, he helps keep them here, kind of thing. So when he attaches them to one of the dolls, they pick their colors, they pick their look, they pick everything for the most part. And they are bound to the dolls. Every doll will have some sort of extra something about it, but most of the time he never gets the chance to find that out. The one time he has found, or he had a doll that showed what it could do, it combusted in on itself using the power. You've seen Quincy with a doll that has lost an arm and that is half charred. You've never seen Quincy put that one down. Also, he's always held on to it, or you haven't seen him with it. And when you don't see him with it, it's not in the shop, for what you can tell.
Does its colors match up with one of the beads?
There's no sorry. You've seen Quincy with it. You've lived in this town, so you even knew Quincy's father, who also would have held the doll as well. Yeah, I'm gonna say you know that the doll has the colors that match the bead. So those kind of the gold and rosy reds kind of color.
I think we're gonna have to wait until Stuart wakes up and then see if he can talk to the dolls, kind of in their presence.
Just in the library.
Come in. I mean, it's a
Making
group
sure no one was
library,
in
you know.
Just making sure no one else was in there.
Occupado.
Journey's in there. Find anything?
Maybe I'll show you the book side.
Trade homework.
Trade the findings.
Alright, so it probably is human spirits bound to the thing then.
Yeah, but I mean, they seem to want to be there. The ones that are with me in the tea and leaf.
If Stuart wakes up in the morning and feels fine, I think we should take him to the bookstore and see if he can speak to the dolls, when he's kind of there in person.
Sure. I think we can do that.
Or I guess see if they'll speak back to him.
I mean, you just didn't do the ritual to try to talk to them. That might have worked, but you didn't, Fair enough. We'll do it this way. It's probably easier.
Well, it'll also help us find out what that bracelet's doing, if it's giving him this ability.
Sounds good. Hey, I'm sorry I snapped at you. Ralph's a dick.
I don't know if he's that bad.
No, he doesn't like me for some reason.
I mean, he's dead. That probably takes a toll on a person.
Fair enough, but I don't necessarily mean you any ill will. You just caught me at a vulnerable moment. You're right.
So you get flustered around Ralph like you don't know how to deal with him.
This is why I have difficulty talking to you, James, and she walks off.
What? You wouldn't be the only person in our little group dating somebody that's dead?
No response. Slaps the door. Goes up to her room.
Stuart's got dead guys and demons. Huh?
Janie eventually goes to bed.
Cassie will eventually show up in the library while James is looking through the book. Well, was I right?
About what?
What do you mean about what?
Sorry, I've had my
We
head in the
literally
book.
talked about one thing today, James.
Okay.
One
I'm
thing.
sorry.
So was I right?
The bead you're not for sure about, it matches up with the doll that Quincy carries around with him. And if I remember right, his father carried it around with him before him.
Alright, well, that would be your knowledge a lot more than
Also,
mine.
shadowy people float behind those dolls at all times.
I'm sorry. Come again?
I think the dolls are what Stuart was talking to. I think we found his shadowy people before Ori did. I couldn't speak to them the way I speak to people, though.
But you did see them.
Yes.
Alright. Well, I mean that's a decent start, at the very least. It's better than nothing, I suppose.
I mentioned to Journey, I think if Stuart wakes up feeling all right in the morning, we need to take him to the bookstore and see if he can get a response out of him. Like in their presence, just talk to him like normal.
Yeah, of course. It sounds like a incredibly Stuart thing to do, but also it sounds like the best form of a plan. Have you eaten?
No, I have not.
Well, then I will let you return to that, and I will be back with something to eat.
Oh, thank you.
And Cassie will go off and she's not doing anything fancy. Like it's literally she makes him a sandwich and then brings it back with his choice of drink, which she would remember because he's ate there before. But me, I don't remember what James would drink. Is it water or does he prefer coffee?
Probably soda.
Soda.
It's probably soda or coffee.
probably-
Coffee if it's an all nighter, otherwise soda.
Yeah, then she'll bring you a soda to start then, to go with the sandwich. Is there anything that I might be able to assist with?
Well, I can slide you one of these books.
Well,
I
then...
got one book that seems to be written at least partially by Quincy, and then one book Jarnia found in the bookstore.
Alright. Then, let's get to it. And Cassie will start reading through the book that she's handed.
All right. What has Ralph been up to besides, from what I hear, teaching Tallboy how to do locks, unlocks, locks?
Yeah. Just teaching Tallboy all sorts of bad habits.
no. Oh no, he takes rogue levels now. I hate it.
What's Morgan been up to besides standing in a corner and eating?
Probably not much. I mean, it seems like a lot of the conversations are happening without
Around.
him. Like,
Wow.
so, like, just. I'm the emotional support demon. That's what I am right now. You know, like.
Throw a
you know, like
blanket
when you
at
got,
Stu.
as I say, you know, when you got your really, really drunk friend, and they're just kind of laying there, and I'm like, I just need you. And you're like, yeah, I know, I got you. It's like, I got you. And you
That's
pat
Morgan.
their head and you hold their hand and all that shit. Yeah, I'm the emotional support.
You're the best emotional support demon.
Number 1. Ori agrees. He'd write you a 5-star review.
I wish you wouldn't.
Well, now he's going to.
God,
just
could you
because of
imagine
that.
if there was a
Like,
way to actually, like, rate the demons that you make deals with? Or interact
God,
with?
I hate the idea of that. I do hate the idea of that. All right, with everyone looking up some information with our emotional support demon in the corner, I feel like that would be a terrifying aspect. We're gonna take a quick break. Refill your waters, go to the washroom. I don't know. Relax, chill. We'll be back in about 10 minutes, and we'll see what happens after that. Thank you. Hello, everybody, and welcome back. We're here. We're
Fill their
ready.
drinks.
I even got mug. It's not an energy drink, guys. It's water.
Yeah, I got my drink.
Yeah.
You actually have water?
Are you okay?
Link
I've
wants
had
if the
enough
shadow
energy
people
drinks.
have you.
I've had enough energy drinks today. I'm gonna be good. I do have another one up in the fridge, but I chose against it. It's a very big mug. I see. This mug says Pappy's Old Fashioned Original Soda Pop Company, Spruce Grow. I want to say that's Alabama. It says AB.
I think I have that same mug.
We got it. If you do,
Ribfest,
we got it at Ribfest.
Yeah.
Because they had the sodas and they had sodas and barrels, and if you bought this mug, they were a lot cheaper throughout the rest of the weekend for the Ribfest weekend.
Did you get the
Alright.
beer?
I think I tried it once, but a bee fell in it, and then I stopped drinking it. I was like,
I
I'm
wasn't that
sorry,
into
little
it.
fella.
I'll let you in on a secret. A bee didn't fall in it. It found its way on purpose into it.
Like, oops!
Ah! Oh no!
Yes, you can't drink it now. I'll take
Oh,
care of it
I'll
for
take
you.
care of it. It's fine. It's fine now.
Funny story about related to that fucking at a Renaissance fair. A bee fell into my friend's drink. And it was like a wasp, I think, and it crawled its way out. And dude, that bee was lost in the fucking sauce. As it crawled around the table, it was like so disoriented, and we were like, "Is it gonna live?" Like it was.
It was just suffering. It was a
It-
beer, wasn't it, or something that it fell into?
It was like an ale or something. Yeah.
Okay, so an alcohol. Yeah, lost in the sauce. All right. When we left off, we were book searching about souls, dolls. What is happening? Are you guys doing a sort of like group research session overnight?
Molly, what the fuck?
Well, I don't know about all night, but
No. It's not
Uh,
exactly portraying to like looking over everything now. You're like, okay, I don't know if this has to do with anything like with our little fire problem, but at the same time, this is something that is happening to Stuart.
Side quest.
I would say Journey has stormed off, gone upstairs, and is retiring for the evening.
All right, Stuart's already asleep. He's just gonna
Stuart's
sleep
already gone. So it's like
conked
whatever
out
the
for the
other
night.
whatever the other four want to do.
Okay, Ralph. Is there anything you would like to do on this night? Besides teach bad habits to Tallboy.
Right. I've been thinking about it, but like, there's nothing really useful he'd want to do, other than like, see if he can make some ramshackle traps to just have around the like outside of the mansion.
Okay. Do you want to go looking around the house to see? Because the house isn't like you guys haven't fully explored it yet. I think Cassie looked around because Cassie. Well, I know definitely. I don't think Ralph has explored it because he's the newest member of our
Right.
group. I don't know if the rest of you have explored the house. I know Cassie briefly looked around. Definitely looked because she reset the power to the house so you guys could get the computer room working. So Ralph, if you want to explore the house,
Done.
all right. There are doors you find locked. One specifically, even when I know what you do, what you love to do. That one door, you unlock it, but you still can't get in as if something is blocking the doorway.
Okay.
Okay.
All right.
Otherwise, looking around the house, you find a good chunk of like old spare parts in the sort of basement section. The basement to get into for the house, you have to go through outside. It's almost like would they just
Like
be like
storm
storm
doors?
cellar door? Yeah.
Yeah.
You pull those open, you go down a flight of stairs. There are 3 main rooms in this sort of little underground spot. one room you find the fuse box to the house. You can see where it has been fixed and moved around. Sorry, Otter in the chat is like, the blocked room is totally where Morgan, sweet roll hoard is. Molly just nodding in agreement. Yeah, I don't care if it's not, it is now. The fuse box, there's like some boxes here and there, mostly stuff that's kept near the fuse box as a replacement piece of sorts. There is one room that you find that opens up like drastically. It's this large, I don't want to say arena, but it could be considered like the size of like me picking a sport.
Fight Club.
A Fight Club. No. It is still dirt. There's no like fake grass or astroturf or anything like that down here. But like it's like the size of one football field underground. It's a very large dome thing. Yeah.
That's where our X-wing goes.
Yep. Where the secret
not
ship
that.
is.
What's the one from X-Men?
I was just thinking about that.
Yeah,
Blackbird.
Is it not the X?
The Quinjet.
No, X-wing is Star Wars.
Quinjet.
Quinjet.
Yeah,
Yeah, there you go.
They had the Blackbird and the X-Jet, or what they've had.
And the extra Quinjet. No, Quinjet Avengers, isn't
Quinjet's
it?
Avengers.
Oh shit.
Okay. I don't fucking.
Yeah. Okay.
Ship. It
Yeah,
flies.
you've all just lost your geek cred.
No, I was like, Quinjet sounds familiar, but I've just recently watched a good chunk of the Avenger movies, so I'm just like,
Quinjet is definitely the Avengers, and is definitely that universe. Oh my god, I literally just can't. You guys literally just said I don't fucking remember what it was. The X-Men have their own.
Yeah, they have the Blackbird, and they have another vehicle.
What's on?
It is an area. You can see things here and there that are placed in that large underground area. Almost looks like some of them look like they could be targets. Some of them look like they are things like you can hide across. Almost feels as if it's like a training field of sorts. Play a mean
Alright.
game of paintball down here. That's what I'm saying.
So if the fighting evil doesn't work out, we open a paintball field. All right.
To make a road to get back to civilization, so that people.
Vernia just makes like little ice props to like hide behind and shit.
Ah! Oh my god. All right, and then someone tell Stuart. And then the last room holds a lot of boxes that have spare parts, be it car parts or just like vehicles and general parts. You can find like things that would be used to just like do buildings and stuff like that. There's a lot of stuff here. You could, if you want to makeshift a trap, this would be the room where you can find the stuff you were looking for.
Oh, that'd be a good trap. Oh, I'm putting that on the fire engine. Yeah. Well, I'm putting 2 of those on the fire engine.
But yes, there is a lot of stuff here that you can find and that you can use. You could probably spend hours down here and still only get through like half of the boxes. That's how much stuff is down here.
All right, so we're going like Home Alone ++.
Yep.
Awesome.
All right, Morgan. What do you want to do? Anything? Are you just gonna go? Are you gonna like stay? If you do just go to bed for the night, are you staying at the mansion? Are you going back to the apartment?
I'm probably. If Tallboy will probably stay here. I wanna go see my boyfriend, man.
All right. So you are going back to Doll.
Mhm.
Okay. And then Cassie and James. You guys are doing some research into said soul stuff.
Mhm.
I take it? Team efforts? All right. Are you spending the whole night doing this, or are you just going to be like, okay, once I'm tired, like, I'm going to go to bed?
Yeah, probably once it's 12 or so, I'll go home.
Okay.
Cassie will probably wait. She probably just works until Ansel gets up.
Yeah.
And then just kind of bookmarks her place and then goes to spend time with him.
All right. Sorry, I thought I heard a banging upstairs. Anything else you guys would like to do tonight? We move into the next day. Ralph, do you spend like a good chunk of the night, doing trap stuff? Or at one point?
Definitely.
Okay.
Mhm.
He comes back up, looks a little tired. Or like his body language says he's a little tired. Just goes right for a coffee. Or a bed.
Dead coffee.
Dead coffee. Alright. Next morning. Who's the first to get up? Okay, Jernia. Instantly.
Journey.
I'm
Journey-
awake.
Well, Journey went to bed really early, so it makes sense.
That's also true. That is also true. Ralph is still up, so I can't say who's the first up. But Jernia is up. Morgan, James, I'm going to guess that you guys come back to the house once you have gotten up. Or back to the mansion, I guess. Unless you guys have something you'd like to do in town. No?
Nah, I can't think of anything.
Okay. We come back to the mansion.
So I'm going over the PDF for like scrying.
Okay.
Do I know that I need an object familiar to the person? Do I have any objects familiar to Quincy?
He does have his bedroom in the back of the tea and leaf.
Okay.
Just gonna go steal a pair of his underwear or something.
Absolutely not. But I might use them for a ritual.
Might use them for a ritual. Okay. Alright.
That's different. That's not stealing.
It's not stealing. I'm gonna return it. He lives right here. I can just throw it on the
Yeah,
bed, and it's like it was always here the whole time.
Yeah,
The
exactly.
underwear ritual. Yeah.
Or you just do the ritual in the bedroom without ever taking it out.
That's true too. Yeah.
That's true. That's probably what she will do as she gets up in the morning, and she'll open the tea and leaf. Unless anybody else has neither for anything, she'll open it up for a little bit. About noonish, she'll put the lunch sign up and then go do that.
So you want to do some scrying.
Mhm.
And I will guess that you want to scry for Quincy, seeing
Yes.
as you are going into his room.
I'm in his room. I have like chalks that I'm using to like chalk. Right? I have the candles that are up in different sigils.
Yep. Okay.
I start speaking in a weird language. If anyone would hear me, probably the dolls that are there that can hear me. I have
Okay.
Nebula right there.
All right. Going into Quincy's room.
Uh-huh.
I'm sure Jernia has made like pit stops or have seen some of Quincy's room depending on how in and out he has gone. I know James has briefly saw the inside of Quincy's room, I think.
Possibly.
I feel
We've
like
all-
we talked about sigils in his room
Mhm.
before.
Yes.
I know we've talked about the sigil, so you're very likely right.
Okay. Quincy's room is pretty simple. There's like a decent sized bed. There's a couple dressers here and there that hold clothing. There are sigils on each of the wall. There's one on the floor that you can see in the center of the room, and then there's one on the ceiling in the center of the ceiling.
Mhm.
I'm just...
Do I
Sorry.
recognize any of them per se?
Symbols that you recognize, and you recognize one of the symbols because it also held it was also on one of the walls in the wood mill, which is basically just a sort of ceiling
Award.
ward. Yep.
Okay. Then I will assume that I'm fine and I will continue.
All right. So we are going to do some magic.
Some magic.
Excuse me. So you can go ahead and roll plus weird.
Jernia is going to because Jernia really wants this. I'm gonna burn a luck.
How many lucks have you used?
Just the other one.
I think you're the only person that's used any.
Just for things that are very important that I know would be very important to Jernia.
All
So
right.
she is double, triple checking everything. She's reading the PDF like 3 or 4 times, making sure she has everything nice and perfect, and has the one item for that is Quincy's to use as a basis to scry on. So, yeah.
Always seen him wear specific amount of jewelry.
Mhm.
You can find one of his rings in the room and use that.
Yeah, that'll work.
Like he would wear like multiple rings usually whenever you saw him. You can see like he has left some of the rings behind. All right. So a luck point. So what a luck point does is it automatically rolls you a perfect
12.
roll.
Yeah.
Rolls you a 12. And if you wanted to, you could add your weird, which would make this a 14, but it's not necessary. It's a perfect roll either way.
Right.
So your magic works without an issue, and you choose your effect.
Mhm.
So with scrying, observe another place or time.
Mhm.
So okay. Otter asked in the chat, how much luck does one have? You guys have a total of 7 luck in total. Sorry, I just want to double check. 2, 4, 6, 7.
Misunderstood
when
what you
you
said. I
first-
have 5 left.
Yeah. So Jernia has 5 left. So the thing is luck doesn't come back. There is something that you can use to, I believe, get a luck point back, but but normally, like, you can't level in the game and get a luck point back. Unless I believe it's a certain class that does that, where you can do that. But I'll look into that later, unfortunately. Sorry. Oh. Sorry, I just realized. I know we've talked about them updating the character sheets on Roll20, so
Uh-huh.
I was just reading something that I didn't see before. Perfect. It is a very limited resource.
Mhm.
When you start losing luck, you're okay. You're fine. If you get to the point where you have used all your luck or have used most of your luck, bad things will start happening. So in Jernia's case, if she used all of her luck, she used all 7 points. She is automatically classified from she would be okay. Now she's doomed. So bad things will start happening the more often that people use their luck.
Mm-hmm.
You can only be lucky for so long.
Yeah, until you're not.
Until you're not, and then that's just a little like, haha, okay, but also not okay. So you're
Right.
using a luck point. You're scrying. You have a full 12. Perfect. Yeah, not a problem, Otter. Don't worry about it. Ask questions.
That's what we're here for.
That's what we're here for. We do.
Just to do the showcase is what we did.
Yep. Yeah, exactly. We played so many different types of games during the showcase times that at one point, there's going to be a lot of questions, I feel like. It's just like, at this point, we have to start answering questions, or else we're going to... Actually, I believe I asked questions even as a player. I'm like, does this work? No? Okay, goodbye. Either way. Okay. 12. Perfect roll. You're scrying for Quincy.
I have a special thing that happens when I use my luck.
Yep, that's what I was reading earlier.
Yes.
We'll worry about that a little bit later.
Yeah.
No, that's okay, Otter. Whenever things come up and you want to ask questions, feel free to ask questions.
You might learn to play this.
Mm-hmm. You can even ask questions of the players if they use one of their skills from their class. They can explain what it does and what they can do with it.
Bro, you can DM me. It's fine.
True.
And I mean, honestly, the more questions you ask might help us learn too. Like, hey, I didn't realize that. Oh, cool. Yeah, stuff like that.
All here to help out. We're all friends. We're all nice, right? Question mark. Audible confusion. No, I'm kidding.
In spite of Ralph, I am nice.
In spite of torturing my player with making his character black out last week, I'm also nice at times. I'm making him just leave his body for a bit. All right. We are looking for Quincy.
Mm-hmm.
You kneel down in the center of this circle. You have the ring placed in front of you. You are holding your hands out over top of the rings, and you close your eyes. It feels almost like, you know, when sometimes in movies you see the person like sitting there, and all of a sudden you see them like zoom off forward, and everything is blurry around them.
Mhm.
That's what it feels like. You can still feel yourself kneeling. You can still feel yourself in that spot, but you are moving outside of the bookstore, outside of town, across the other town, through the other town. And then you stop, but you don't know where you are. There's no really distinguishing marks that you recognize. You don't recognize, like, hey, this looks like a monument somewhere, maybe, or this looks like something else here, maybe. This feels different.
Does it feel another plane of existence different?
It doesn't feel like Earth, I can tell you that.
Okay.
And you see Quincy. You see him in that familiar trench coat. You see him with that the familiar jewelry, but also like at the same time you're like, okay, you don't have all of it. I was right. This is something that you would normally have, but you don't have. But you see him holding on to that one doll that you know he usually has with you. He's just like, it's just like sitting in the crook of his arm as he's holding it. And you can see him talking to someone.
Okay.
You recognize this person, but you recognize this person from two different places. Sorry.
No, you're good.
You're good? Okay. No,
You're
I just
good,
wanted
yeah.
to make sure they didn't need you for something kind of thing.
No.
You recognize this person, but you recognize this person from two different places. You recognize them as Dull, Morgan's boyfriend.
Okay.
But you also recognize them as the person that was with Odette whenever Morgan went for the meeting with her.
Okay.
You recognize this person as he was the one that helped Odette up and also helped her leave the meeting when they disappeared. You are familiar with the white clothing that he wore. You are familiar with the just sort of almost relaxed atmosphere kind of about him.
Okay.
The only difference is, sorry, I just have to grab something really quickly. Is it in here? There it is. You can see the sort of, you can't tell if they're horns, you can't tell if it's something that just sits on his head, but you see a long gold sort of aura that sits around his head. It comes from the back of his head, or yeah,
It's not
and moves
circular,
up.
it's horned.
It comes around,
Uh-huh. So it goes
moves
like
up into a
this.
point, and sits up here.
Gotcha. Cool.
So it looks like it's coming from the back of his head, but you can't exactly tell. And then you can't tell what they're saying, but there's a pause in the conversation, and they both turn to look at you.
I was literally like about to like reach out and be like, Quincy?
You see the quick steps. Quincy is rushing towards you. His hand is out, that he's not holding on to the doll, and all of a sudden you are flying back. And you find yourself in that sigil, kneeling in Quincy's room. You don't feel like it was something you did to send yourself back, or that your time was up. It feels like Quincy forced you back.
You may be fired.
Text the group chat we apparently have and be like, we all need to talk. I will literally just say we all have to talk. That's it. Just erase the markings and whatever, and put everything back.
That doesn't sound good. What did you do?
What did I
What
do? And I'll go back into the. I'll open up for a little bit longer. Open up again for a little bit longer, and continue about like nothing happened.
Okay. Stuart! Wake up. Are you still wanting to sleep?
It was feeling good this morning.
You're feeling a lot better.
Oh yeah.
You're starving. But who wouldn't be after sleeping that long?
That's right.
Like slept for 20 hours.
First thing he
made you
did
a
is go to the
cake.
bathroom and then go to the kitchen. He's gonna mow down on anything that's in that fridge.
Pickles in there.
Just
see what-
Not pickles, given the association with the clown. But let's
Oh yeah.
everything else.
I'm so
Oh, no.
sorry. That's
Oh,
me being
no.
insensitive. I am so sorry. That's right. Pickles. Just rest
Too
in peace,
soon.
Pickles. Rip
Too soon.
pickles.
Rest in brine.
Rest in Ah, I love that. God. Yes, Otter. I'm sorry. Last episode, it was the clown Pickles was the one that was found dead in the forest, where Stuart found the bracelet, and then kind of had a moment. So there is a lot of food in the fridge that you can go through and find. Maybe there's some there's like lunch meat. You can make a quick sandwich if you like, or you can just eat the meat on its own.
Makes the Scooby Doo like 10-tier sandwich.
Yes,
Whoosh.
he does,
Okay, perfect.
and he's gonna eat it outside on the front steps.
All right. Okay. What is everybody feeling? Stuart's up. Jernia has texted the group saying we need to talk. Are we meeting up?
It would have been at like noon, so if they have anything else they want to do before they get closer to before then that would be on them, and then they'd get the text.
I mean, Cassie's probably not getting up till noon anyway.
Yeah, fair enough. And then I'll probably close up at like 5 or 6.
All right.
First full day the Tea and Leaf has had in a while.
All right.
You
Going to some
see
stuff,
a lot
okay?
of weird things just out of the corner of your eye that look very trap-like around.
Does the tea and leaf have a neon sign like Dunkin' Donut or not, like Krispy Kreme, where when they have a fresh batch, they turn the light though?
Oh,
The
yes,
light on.
it does.
Does the tea
It
leaf
does
have like a
now.
big bright light that anytime they're open, the big light's on so everybody knows?
That
Yes.
sounds awesome.
Yeah, they do.
I love that. They do now.
Absolutely.
Yeah, Stuart, you're on the
Exactly.
front porch eating that sandwich. You're seeing like Ralph move back and forth on the lawn. You don't know what exactly he's doing, but it looks like he's looking over something, fiddling with something, and then moves to another spot.
Haven't even said hello. The sandwich is all that matters. My big Scooby Doo sandwich.
Just tear through it.
All right. Unless anybody else has anything to do, 5 or 6 rolls around. Jernia, I will say, text the group, closes the store, text the group. Tea and Leaf is closed.
I go back to the mansion.
Goes back to the mansion. Stuart, you're finishing up your sandwich after 5 hours.
I go make my own
gone
Scooby
back
Doo
for
sandwich because I
seconds.
didn't actually eat lunch.
He's gone back for seconds of
Oh,
a
yeah.
10-tier sandwich. I love it.
Yep.
Ralph, I'll say in the time that you have done your work, you've set up probably like maybe 6 or 7 traps. Some are bigger, some are smaller, but they're still. You've tested them out a couple times, or like throw a rock at it, see what happens. They've worked. You've managed at least 5 or 6 today.
All right.
What kind of traps have you set up? That's my question here. I'm gonna let you sort of decide on them.
Well, I mean, there's one that's just a giant pit. It's it's got like a some netting with some grass and dirt flecked over it to make it look like it's not a pit.
Okay, that one definitely took the longest, I will say, which is why you didn't get as many traps done as you think you would have. You started with the smaller ones and then ended with the pit.
Mm-hmm.
That works.
Got a couple of like if I found like a barrel of, I don't know why there would be a barrel of used ones, but a barrel of used fuses, I'm gonna be placing them down like he's thinking like they're you can slip on these like marbles, that'll be fine.
In the grass.
In the grass.
Yeah.
Ralph has done the most prep. Like, just you guys have all done stuff. You guys have all done prep, but Ralph is like, I'm setting traps, and it's just done.
I ain't gonna burn.
You've heard of?
Like that.
Listen, I've heard of zombie prep, but this is ridiculous.
Oh my goodness! All
30
right,
hunts from now, one of us is going to trigger one of these traps that he's forgotten about.
It's gonna be me.
Ralph has like you've seen Stuart on the porch, so you're like, okay, if at least if anybody who's like not going to step on them, it won't be Stuart.
Well, yeah.
Stuart's the one that falls in the pit.
At one point, I make eye contact, go directly like, point towards the trap, and just.
You sure?
I mean, I'll go over there if you want me to.
Okay.
But he's like gonna be the only one he's indicated anything to.
All right. So that's the answer to your question, Otter.
Yeah.
Stuart's the only one that knows. Got it. Goodness gracious. All right. Jernia, are you gathering the forces?
I'm gonna try to
All right.
find Stuart on the porch. Like, hey, buddy, come on. We gotta have a house meeting of sorts.
Yeah, all right. Ori, did Ori
You-
get back
you
to
feel-
anybody?
No. There's some stuff that's been that's happened since you've been unconscious.
Did I sleep another like 3 years?
Something like that. Come on.
Oh,
And I'll find everybody else and slowly gather them. I think I'd be the hardest person to find is like Ralph, like
Just by virtue of it being
like
Ralph.
outside.
In the rafters.
Where the hell is? Oh,
He's like in the corner of like on the porch of that to like the house and the rafters of the thing, but he's like holding himself up like in the top corner of the porch.
Yeah.
See,
Ralph,
I
where
prefer the
hell are
ideal
you?
that he's by the gate. He's laid out all these traps, but doesn't remember where they're at. I've got to run back to town. I'll be in the house in a little bit. He has to run all the way back to the bookstore.
No.
Oh God!
But eventually, everyone gathers up 3 hours later.
3 hours later,
Um,
it's dinner time. We're setting the dinner table. We're all having like a dinner meeting.
So I probably did a bad thing.
Do you regret the thing you did?
No.
Well, we're wondering what it is.
Sure.
So will you tell you what you did?
Stop it!
Did you do a
Okay.
bad thing?
Well, James taught me how to scry by virtue of PDF file transfer. I gotta look into that some more, actually, now that I think about it. Anyway, and I looked for Quincy and found him. I don't know where I was. I didn't see anything. Did I see buildings?
A lot of light.
A lot of light.
Like-
I saw a lot of like light.
Was it a warm, inviting light?
I will say yes.
Okay, it seemed on the celestial side.
Okay.
Then you probably should not go towards it then.
Well, I did. And they knew I was looking at them.
Yeah, well, the fire guy knew I was looking at him one time, so that just kind of happens sometimes.
Sure. Well, yeah, but these are magically addled people. But I didn't just see Quincy. And I turned to Morgan. I think I saw Doll.
Morgan.
Hold on, you're really quiet for me. Let me turn you up a tiny bit. Just everybody's a little quiet.
Sure.
Okay.
Can you hear me?
Everybody
Better?
whisper.
What?
Can you hear us now?
What?
Anyway,
Yeah, that's better. Sorry.
I saw Quincy in this celestial-esque place with lights and only lights, but I also saw Doll.
I don't like that. Why did
but
you see
more than-
him?
But more than that, like he was with us when we went to go over with when we went to look into that thing for you.
You do remember, Morgan, seeing someone who sort of looked like Doll for a little bit when you had your meeting with Odette.
He was
came
helping,
and
what's her name?
Are you sure it was 100% Doll?
I mean, James, you can pull the image out of my head if you'd like.
That's the sound.
It is now. I'll
Because
like,
he says
sit there.
bleep bleep while he's doing it.
Mhm. I'll just sit there like this, just kind of looking at James, kind of weirdly and trying to open my mind for ease of
Don't
access.
try so hard.
So is it exactly Doll, or is it the doll-like person that I saw?
they look like Doll. You remember this? They don't have Doll's horns, though. They have something else. Something with light.
I mean, that's kind of Doll. Yeah,
It looks a lot like him, doesn't it?
it does.
And like,
But
I don't want to like alarm you, but did you see him last night?
yeah, I spent the night with him.
Okay, I'm just making sure. If you spent the night with him, it could be somebody else. I'm not sure. But more importantly, they were aware of me and pushed me back. Which, now that I'm here and thinking about it, I guess pushing me back out of heaven kind of, sure, I'll take that.
Or maybe it's a bad sign. Oh, you don't belong here.
Well, it didn't seem threatening. It was just, maybe he's trying to protect me or something. I don't know. Quincy's never been the type to actively engage in harm, but what would he be doing there if he wasn't... Jernia doesn't even finish that sentence.
It's clearly that he's an alien and they're planning an invasion.
Are you implying that my boyfriend is also an alien?
Different kind of alien. There can be more than one kind.
But I know we were going to do something tonight, and I figured we'd all do it as a group. As a bonding exercise, I suppose.
Quirky,
Stuart,
alright.
how are you feeling?
Feeling great.
Ready to
Why
go
is
to
that?
Tea Leaf?
Yeah, why?
You'll see. Well,
Well,
I sure
well,
hope.
hang on
Yes?
a second. Has it been explained to Stuart?
No.
What we're okay. Alright, Stuart, so while you were conked out last night, we came to the determination that the bracelet that you have around your wrist coincides with all those dolls in the Tea and Leaf.
Oh,
So, we think that you might be able to talk to the spirits that are attached to those dolls.
oh.
We think the shadowy people that you saw when you first put the bracelet on are the dolls.
I mean,
Oh.
I've seen those dolls. They're much smaller than what I saw.
Yeah, we
that-
understand. They are like a physical representation of those spirits here in our world, but their spirits are technically locked in the the spirit afterlife or whatever the hell it is. It might be limbo. I'll be honest, my knowledge on it is circumstantial at best.
We'll call it Shadow World because I was there first, and I get to call it whatever I want.
Sure, we'll call it the Shadow
fair.
World. You have
Shadow
named
World,
it
very-
the Shadow World, and I think that's very
Yeah.
appropriate. But we
Very
want
European
you
colonist of you.
to attempt to talk to the dolls and the spirits therein.
Okay. Alright.
Oh, one more thing. While I'm here, Quincy had the other doll. Definitely had it in his hands while he was wherever he was.
Well, at least we know that it's not lost, and we don't need to go find it. We just need to find him.
Sure, we'll go to another plane of existence, just like that. Easy.
I mean, if this bracelet
You're the
doesn't
one
work
with
out,
magic.
then have to
Figure
have
it
on
out.
someone else.
I barely learned how to scry.
Wait, what if we
She is not a quick study.
Of course,
Sorry?
we needed to have Stuart scry. Then he would have been able to talk to the doll.
But
I don't know where I'm
let's-
going with this.
We haven't
Hang on.
confirmed that he can talk to the dolls yet.
We have to make sure he can talk to the dolls before we can do that.
I mean, technically we don't have to, but fine, have it your way.
You can be scared of them if you'd like. I know they're not malevolent entities.
I'm not a fan of no Barbies. Let's go.
Let's go.
They're not quite that kind of doll, but
I've seen them. I'm just making jokes. All right, let's go.
He's making a joke out of straight fear. Let's go.
Stuart is
No.
definitely feeling
Let's do it.
better.
All right. So we're gonna go to the Tea and Leaf. Now, Stuart, I'm gonna ask you specifically to pick a doll. You can choose a number between 1 and 11, or if you want to look at the descriptions and find one that you sort of like, that you feel like, okay, I'm feeling it.
Jenny, you spend a lot of time with these things. Who do you think I should try and converse with? Gonna defer to the expert.
Well, do you remember anything about the
No, not a thing.
nothing? Okay, cool. So we'll just go with the tried and true. My favorite is Nebula. Okay, she's matches, and I'll bring up a hand of just magical energy, just matches my magic.
Okay. Nebula it
Uh,
is.
Nebula's just over here, and I'll pick up Nebula and just face them towards Stuart.
All right. Stuart, you look at this doll. She is dark purple, blues, blacks. She has gold flecks across her clothing. She's got 3 eyes that settle in her face. You don't see anything special about the dolls, just looking at it.
Oh my god, guys. It's a doll.
Yeah, it's a doll.
Yeah,
What do you
that's
think?
all I get. It's just a weird doll. I don't even know how to look at it. Like, do I tilt my head and look at the top eye and the side one, or do I go for the regular two?
Do I see the spirit standing behind him?
The spirit is standing behind Jernia, holding the doll.
Speaking of this,
I
hello?
reach it. James reaches out and basically palms the top of Stuart's head and shares what he's seeing with Stuart.
Stuart, you
Oh, jeez. That's weird.
She looks like one of the shadowy figures. You don't know exactly if she matches the outline of one of the figures you saw, because there were 12 of them that were just around you. But she matches the look you saw. She looks like the shadow. She looks like the shadow that's moving in the wind, but you can't tell by the outline if she matches specifically.
Do you have Do you know anything particular about any of them?
There was 2 that were like holding hands.
Really?
Yeah.
Come here. Come here real quick.
Okay.
Come,
All right.
yeah, come here real quick.
Yeah.
And I'll
All right.
take
Okay.
him to Arlo and Binks.
These are okay. Arlo and Binks.
Uh-huh.
Jernia, you always remember them because Quincy would always call them the twins.
Mhm.
They are light blue and green in color. They have matching patterns, but their colors are inverted. So if Arlo is mostly blue with green accents, Binks is mostly green with blue accents. They both hold one eye, Cyclops appearing.
James is still the thing.
If James is still doing this thing, you can see the two. Like, Jernia, if you were holding both dolls in your arms, and like, is she standing? Is she crouching?
She's standing. It's like almost like nursing.
Yeah. She's holding both of them. Stuart and James, you can see the two small shadows that are standing by Jernia's legs.
And do they look like the 2 I saw?
Yeah. They have that same sort of feel and look. They're like leaning out and around from behind her legs. You can't tell exactly if they're like holding hands behind her legs or if they're kind of like holding onto her legs. And Jernia doesn't feel anything, but from what it looks like they're kind of leaning out and like looking.
Okay. Yeah. Those look like the 2. It's just not right.
Ask them their name or something. See if they respond to you.
Hey, who are you guys?
You can tell that the shadows look at each other and then look back to you, and all you can hear is static.
James,
and then
better reception.
And then one of them points up at the dolls.
Okay. They're not saying much aside from like just static. Like TV static, I guess. But they pointed at the dolls when I asked who they were. I mean like an actual name. Anything.
You don't I don't think it works that way, Stuart. I don't think it works that way.
Stuart,
speak to him before,
perhaps
though.
if you were holding the dolls.
I guess.
I'll tell you what, and I'll put one on each of his shoulders.
They might fall off, just as a warning.
I'm holding him from back here.
As the dolls touch your shoulders, Stuart, from what you can tell, and James, because you are still kind of holding on to Stuart, a little, these kids don't look like shadows anymore. They look like 2 young twin boys. They're holding hands. They are both wearing overalls that match the doll.
Is that still only they can see?
That is only what those 2 can see.
Okay.
They are wearing matching overalls. Their overalls are jeans. The colors don't match the dolls per se. They both have like little t-shirts on. They look dirty as if they've been playing out in the dirt. They both have a sort of messy mop of blonde hair, eyes. They both have freckles. They're both 2 young twin boys. You can see them clear as day.
Okay, things have changed. This is much better.
Really now?
Yeah, they're like here. They're not shadows.
Well, I mean, they're always here.
Okay, they're not shadows now.
Okay.
They're like it's 2 little boys. It's weird.
I mean,
Can you guys hear me? Can you guys talk?
One nods their head, and the other one is the one that speaks. I'm Arlo. That's Binks.
Wow, they actually got your names right.
Yeah.
Well, we gave them to Quincy.
Oh. Okay. Right off the top, what's the deal with this thing?
And he's pointing at his bracelet.
We don't know.
Is there a doll that would?
Probably. Holt.
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 Colts. Okay.
You say Holt. You say Holt out loud.
Holt.
Yeah.
Okay. Oh, I know which one Holt is.
Okay, kids, it's been great. I'm really sorry to just hang up on you like this, but we're kind of in we're solving a mystery. Isn't that fun? Yeah. You'll see everything. It's fine.
Okay.
All right.
Are you done talking to them? I'll move them away.
Yeah, please.
Okay.
Let's go to the next door.
All right. With the talk with Arlo and Binks and moving on to Holt, we're going to call it for tonight. We're
10 more
finding
minutes.
out
10 more
who
minutes.
some of the dolls are. Maybe.
Uh-huh.
We have figured out that Stuart is still alive in his body, which was great. We've got some prep going around. Morgan now has the chance to talk to Doll at some point, maybe to see, were you with Quincy or were you over here? We've got a lot of questions up on that mystery board now. I think it's finally time to wipe what happened with Cassie and Vinny off the mystery board and a couple other questions. But of course, I guess next week's when we get to ask all of those fun questions, huh? Maybe? Of course, we like to thank our sponsors. So that is dndbeyond.com, D, the letter N, D, beyond.com. And of course, Lucky Dice Cafe. If you're ever looking for live games in the Huntsville, Alabama area, be sure to check it out. We do have a YouTube if you've missed past episodes and you want to catch up, or if you want to see any of our past games. Wednesday night used to be a showcase, and we did Tuesdays now running Valley by Night, but they did have a campaign that they just finished as well. Well, just finished, I'd say, quote unquote. And of course, we do have a Patreon if you'd like to check us out even more in depth. We do have more games this week. Well, we do have one more game this week. That is Descent into Avernus tomorrow, run by Maddie. You will see some familiar faces from this group, and I know we have a familiar face in the chat right now. Thank you, Otter. And then we will have our weekend break. Of course, be sure to come back on Monday for the escorts. Tuesday, we have another episode of Valley by Night. And then Wednesday to maybe get some answers for Monster of the Week. I'm sure.
We don't get answers. We get more questions.
We get like one answer and 50 questions. It's a no throw, only take meme.
Yeah. No take, only throw. It's like a good dog. He's perfect. Yeah. All right, perfect. Of course, I'd like to thank my players for joining us. We had, of course, Cody playing Stuart, Jason playing James, Molly playing Morgan, Jeremy playing Jernia. We had Maddie playing Cassie, who is also streaming tonight. And of course, we had Steve back with Ralph tonight. Setting up some mean set of traps there, Ralph. I'm excited to see how those play off. Of course, we thank everybody who was active in the chat tonight. We had Otter out there tonight, so that was fun. It was nice having the Otter. Hopefully we'll see you again next week. Hell yeah. All right. Have a good night, everybody. Goodbye.